Apparently, a month is all it takes for me to completely lose brain function. I clicked the countdown and then I was like, I know I have to do something else.
There's not just one click and done.
Something's missing. But good morning, friends and fine folk. Hi, Kat. Hi, Eva. Good morning. We're doing stuff today. We have writing. Yeah. I'm not prepared.
I am not. It wasn't until I was coming downstairs I was like, wait, I didn't do the homework of looking up which prompt it was and watching the previous video.
What happened was Natalie Lawyer Chick and Emily D. Baker did a surprise co-stream because the former lawyer of Brian Kohberger, the alleged roommate serial killer in Moscow, I think. His former lawyer, his extradition lawyer, started just doing a press junket for no reason.
Oh my goodness!
Talking all kinds of craziness. So they did a surprise pop-up stream talking about how his former lawyer is basically violating his due process. Woman down. Sorry, that story is still sitting in my email, being neglected by me. I know the story that you're talking about. You have all the time in the world. No rush. That's why I said no change. I knew my brain would protest. Dobby says hello, BT Dubs. Idaho Wildman. Yeah. He's doing a press junket. He like my client said to me, Ryan said to me, all that kind of stuff, talking about the details. And so these other Dobby, your public. Oh wait. He has no business doing what he's doing. And so I was like, Natalie Lawyer Chick is a public defense lawyer. So the person who's doing this press junket is also a public defense attorney. And Eva, that's exactly where they were going with this. And because Natalie Lawyer Chick is also a public defender, you can watch her streams on YouTube and everything. But she was breaking down what exactly was wrong with what he's doing. Natalie's browser crashed, so she's going to be right back. So he has no business doing that. But part of the concern, Emily D. Baker was also a prosecutor in California. So basically, Emily and Natalie give you both sides of this. And so the issue is because of how much information he's giving, now Brian Kohberger has a potential case for saying that his representation was ineffectual. And the concern is that something similar to what happened with, oh my gosh, what's his name? Comedian. Mistrial area and like things like that, where he could potentially have things overturned and, or changes to his sentence that we don't want. And it's like, at first it might seem like, well, we don't like this guy anyway, but none of us want our civil rights to be ignored or circumvented in any way. So it's just the whole thing, it's super questionable, and I got real distracted. So that's what I was supposed to be preparing for the stream, and then I got distracted because I saw that stream. And So squirrel basically is what happened. Today we're doing, this was from episode 14. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up on my other computer and find that. I have a document with all of my flash fiction stories in it, so I need to pull that up as well. That'll make it easier to find. There we go. New Google Doc. Guess who's back? Sorry.
You handled it just fine.
Ooh, yeah, Eva. It is possible, but like also why? You know? They'll also likely move him for the trial, saying the jury is tainted. Yeah, I mean I can't see how the jury would not be tainted at this point. It was both of their perspectives. Sorry, that was probably quite loud. Both of their perspectives. Also, Dobby's like frolicking in the hallway, so both of their perspectives were really enlightening, and it was kind of scary for an attorney he's not just the attorney, he's like the lead in that county.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he is the boss. And it's like, that's his DNA was on the sheath. There's an eyewitness, right? Yeah, no, both of those things are accurate. They were able to match the DNA to DNA found in the trash at his parents' house, where he also lives while he's not at school. Yeah, they do have the death penalty there. I don't know that they're going to take it off the table, just because there's 4 people. And there's potential evidence that he was stalking somebody in the house prior to all of this.
That's the thing with a lot of these, a lot of, not just murders, but a lot of crimes, there's usually historical data that supports that this wasn't their first time.
Yeah.
And it kind of just incriminates them more.
Yep.
Even if they weren't caught previously, like police records, there's someone who knows something.
And the whole thing, it's terrible, and that lawyer should know better.
Yeah.
And I'm hopeful that. Oh, the other thing I really, really appreciated about the stream was that they brought up, so Emily D. Baker has ADHD, and Natalie Lawyer Chick has, it's not dyslexia, but it's where you can't like mentally math. Like it's the same, it's like dyslexia, but for numbers. And they were both really open about it and how difficult it was getting through school with those kinds of things. And of course, Natalie Lawyer Chick is a public defender. And the lawyer, the Brian Koberger's first lawyer, was talking crap about his other clients and how stupid they were, more or less. And Natalie Lawyer Chick was like, that is 100% no.
Yeah.
We don't disrespect the people who we're representing like that. They have educations to varying degrees. You don't know their circumstances. You don't know their backgrounds. Like, we're supposed to be their advocate.
Yeah. You should.
Condescending and hateful to the people that we're like their only, we're their, that's their due process. That's their chance for justice, because the presumption of innocence, like how can you say we're going to presume innocence for this person and then talk about them like in such a degrading manner?
Well, and then there's attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be completely, if you did it, you tell your lawyer you did it, and they're going to help
That's their job, is zealous advocacy, and I think that was the important part. It's like we don't have to like what people do or even think that they're innocent, but we all have that same right.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody's right is violated, we're all at risk. And the whole thing just kind of blew my mind. Actually, when I was thinking about that, because I was saying that's what I was doing instead of preparing for today. So, but when I was thinking about that, I was kind of thinking about the whole journalist cross the line story.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of wanted to like smush that together somehow.
Where it's like a lawyer crosses the line.
Yeah, it kind of gave me a little bit of inspiration there.
Oh.
But both of the attorneys were like, I've never seen, like, I don't even have anything to compare this to because I've never seen anything like this ever.
Yeah, I have an idea to get us on track here. Is I got the video pulled up,
mm-hmm.
and what we can do is listen to the critique of ourselves. So that way we're doing our homework, but we're not reading the story. So A Couple on a Cruise is what was written.
Yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, Chandra wrote a story, and I'm surprised I remember this. Chandra wrote a story where like the person is by the way, I hear an echo a little bit. But whoa, now it's louder.
Uh-oh.
That is not the goal. But I'll say this. I wrote about a person where they ended up going to a yellow party. Like they're on a cruise ship and they're a single on a cruise ship, and they go to a all yellow party, and they end up bonding with this person named Sherry. And they kind of just like talk about people and then become best friends. Like it's kind of a little meet cute thing. Chandra's story is about this person. I don't think the gender's ever revealed. And surprisingly, I have it here. But Chandra's story is about this person who's kind of drunk and they're kind of stumbling down a stairwell, and there's a couple on a cruise, like cruising in a car, and that offer to help and such, and it turns out it's not that he had too many drinks, the main character had too many drinks, it's they had one beer, and so obviously it was like spiked or something. This couple pretty much kidnaps him, and it's been a while. Like now he can't figure out how long it's been that he's been in this basement, assuming a basement, and he's just like lost all sense of reality and such. And I mean, yeah, it's a quick recap, I guess.
Eva gasp, back to murder.
Well, no one died yet.
Is the echo better?
Yeah, actually it is.
Okay. Sorry, my desk is a trash can fire, and I tidied a little bit and moved things to their more usual place.
Yeah. All right, let me I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Chrome tab, share tab audio. Yep. And hey, look, Eva was in this stream. All right, I'm gonna set up in theater mode. Okay. Ready, sit.
I think it's such a fun story. And the not wanting to go to the party by yourself, but also like meeting someone you just get to be salty with is absolutely the biggest mood.
We have not changed. Okay, back to the story.
So I don't know. I feel like those kinds of friendships, like even if you don't see that person all the time, it's just like it's a lasting friendship born out of shared misery.
Jeremy. You know, I almost put a C in front, and I was going to call them Sherry, but it was going to be a CH thing instead of spelled Sherry the way I spelled it, SHERRY. And I was like, no, Cherry's in the chat. I don't want them to feel attacked or anything. But I also ended up using Cherry because it's kind of stuck in my head because I just finished the 3rd season of You.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet.
Ooh.
Did you do that?
I want to jump ahead, but I'm afraid.
I'm going back and forth with it, honestly. Oh my goodness.
What show are we watching then?
Earpieces, which is scary. I'm going to have to grab my wire ones because I don't know where my other one is. I'm going to say the culprit is my son. Probably. But, all right, I'm going to mute myself, but I can still hear you as you critique myself. I do like that Eva was saying, definitely got the Curious George book.
I've never read the book, but that did pop out to me.
Yeah. Yes, there is a new season 3. I want to say it came out a month ago or maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Oh, You. Okay.
It took me some time to finally get into it.
Oh, so this is a sidebar, but it kind of reminded me of You, but it's also if Christian Grey was the way he really was in 50 Shades, Jamie Dornan is in another piece where he is a serial killer.
Ooh.
But with the same kind of ideas in a vague sort of way. And let me just tell you, I have to look up the name of it. It was so good. It's just a mini series. It was so.
I like mini series because I want the
in-depthness that show. Is really good.
But I also want it to be wrapped up.
We digress.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'll have to look up the name on one of our sprints to share because it is on point.
Where,
but it kind of made me feel distracted having seen You, but then also 50 Shades of Grey, but like smushed together. So, okay, on to the
critique while I grab my other headphones.
I should have found that spot.
I was a little confused about the direction of the story when it started off, but then, like, as it took a turn around when we start talking about the Yellowtail party, which I thought was a fun idea, and it being a little bit different just because it is themed around the color yellow. My least favorite line was, well, she did have a bright yellow tunic that could sponsor her into the party. That kind of pulled me out a little bit because it was there's nothing wrong with the sentence in and of itself. I just would not have thought to use sponsor in that way. But it also makes sense to me because it would be like if you have to have an invitation to the party. So the wearing yellow, it like supplants your invitation to the party. Mm-hmm. But it just kind of pulled me out of the story a little bit because I had to think through it, which is that's just like that's a me thing, not necessarily.
Yeah. Which is funny because I actually, thinking of it, I was like, hey, I like the way I did sponsor here. Mm-hmm. And I would, if I was going to bold it, critique my own story, I was going to bold that part. But I do like to hear your point of like how it pulled you out because it's good to use words in a unique way, but when you're too unique, it kind of, it's abrupt for the reader.
Yeah. I think though, if you had mentioned it earlier, or everyone was required to have, using another word for sponsor, everyone was required to have blah, 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 like an invitation.
To get in.
Yeah, something to get it.
Other things.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that would be good, but also with it being so short, I understand why you did it this way. The only I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out where you would insert some kind of descriptor of Sherry without it being like, she looked in the mirror and she had brown eyes. especially since she starts out alone, and then you can't call out a color that they're wearing because everyone's wearing yellow. So
yeah,
that does make it tricky. But I do agree that Sherry has said a lot, but I also I can't advise you on how you would have gotten around that.
But there are ways. I could I think it's also it's starting the sentence with Sherry, if Sherry did, Sherry does, and stuff. And so if I played with the sentences better, such as one way that I well, changing POV is another way to do it. But one way was when the card was slid under the door, I thought to myself, I started it with Sherry looked as the card slid, and I'm like, nope. And I just said a card was slid under the door. And so
to her, she doesn't feel comfortable mingling with this group on her own. So you get to see all.
I think we get an idea on my story. Now we're jumping to critique yours.
The thing I will say where I started getting confused in the first line or the first paragraph was talking about you could see them across the parking structure. And I think it's because I didn't picture the main character in a parking structure. I pictured them like on the boat or maybe on a separate one and like looking across the way and seeing the smoke scrolling up. I didn't picture them all in the same place. But as I read on, I corrected that and it didn't hiccup me enough to stop reading or pause or pull me back. It was just, my thought was going that way. And I'm like, oh no, it's this. And so I self-corrected. The part that I changed, and I know why you did this because you like to take the writing prompt and have it word for word in there, but I'm sure you saw that I changed it to the couple from the cruise, because a couple from the cruise or a couple on a cruise, or so I thought, or so they appear to be, saying the couple, it's like I remember them. It's showing that recognition. A couple just makes it seem like they were lost. And these people are going to be, I think, pretty memorable to the MC. Even if a lot of things are blurred, they at least know the people, because those people's actions of the nosy manners and willing smile was too familiar. They remembered that about them. I do like the disconnect of where it's like, okay, am I going towards them or are they coming towards me? And as the reader, we're like, both. It's both, buddy. Porque no los dos? So it's like, but the person, you're still, anyone, even if you haven't been drunk in your life, people have been sick and confused, and this kind of can hit that mark. So I kind of like how you are, that confusion, that uncertainty, you convey that. And I really, the part that made me go, who, was the part where it's, I've never been this out after one beer. And I'm like, oh yeah, you've been roofied, like straight up. I'm sorry. To purge whatever you need to do to get that out of your system. And I do like what Cherry said in the comments of they were confused, but like that's kind of the point. Like, and what I like, and I know you do this and you and I both do it sometimes, is when you're left with questions at the end of the story. So, and I think one of the best questions ever when it comes to flash fiction is, what is real? What is not? And that's where you left us. It's, did they ever go on a cruise, or did these people like kidnap them before they could even go? So I find that part interesting, and I love the questions. My favorite line is, and just because I loved your creativity here, and that you use two words that you're supposed to at once, but it kind of, it's a question that we all ask ourselves when we indulge too much, or when we think we have. And it's at first I thought I needed to consider getting a sponsor, but now I was beginning to think there was a little something extra in the brew. Like that kind of is like the broad brushstroke that is fine-tuned and sharpened with the next line of, I never had this out after one beer. So, but that line is just, you take that line and you can apply it to anything. I've probably said the exact same thing when I finish off an entire bag of shareable Skittles, okay? shares a suggestion, not a requirement.
They're
But
not shareable.
That's the point. It's like you think, oh, I've gone too far. We always think
It's not
that
even
about
a
ourselves,
suggestion.
and then we go
to protect
no.
the company.
It's like that line of what am I responsible for versus I can't control what's happening to me at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I like about these flash fictions, especially your writing style, is that there's sometimes a deeper thought than what's on the page.
That really makes me
and
want to go back
that's
and
one of
read
those things.
the reviews on the sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon.
Okay. Do you feel you got a good grasp?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I'm gonna
so.
stop sharing. So what I gathered is I wrote Sherry a lot. Sherry does there and everything. So that's one thing I need to fix. But we're about to go through it together. You got a
I got a timer.
Yeah,
my big thing, I feel like I need to work on everything.
I thought we talked through it. Oh no, we probably don't have time to actually pull it up and everything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I think we could just use watching the video as our talking through it.
Okay.
And then
I definitely plan to fix how often I say Sherry. Sherry.
I'm gonna go for setting and make sure I clarify that. I like the structure of the story and a lot of stuff about it.
We didn't finish the part, but remember, you came back and was like, so Natalie, it's like a couple like cruising in their car, not on a cruise, because I was stuck in a boat. Based off my story. So, but for anyone else, like the on a cruise is not a common saying, so I could see that being tweaked and such. But we'll see what pops out at us and as we fix it.
And then we can read through it and share on screen. After.
Yep. Yes. And we'll go from there.
Okie doke.
Okay.
We will begin sprint number 1 in 3, 2, and 1.
It's been 10 minutes. Well, 20 minutes. We got less than 10 minutes.
Okay, so my bad, y'all. I was supposed to do a 20-minute timer, not a 30-minute timer. So.
Oh, please. Well, this is the second time in a row. It's not your bad. It is. It is what it is. It's what it's.
So I did a bit of changing the sentence structure. I think I clarified a little bit, and then at the end I changed a bit more because I felt like the ending didn't fully make sense. So I think it makes a little more sense now. I don't know.
For those who don't remember the story, for mine, I actually had to kill one of my darlings. It was a sentence that I liked, but it just didn't fit. So it's just another example of sometimes you got to do this. So the focus became more on like Sherry, and I realized I never explained, like, Sherry had a yellow tunic but no like yellow pants, and the neighbor had yellow pants but no top that matched the yellow. And so that's kind of how they bonded in the first place. And I realized that wasn't clear. But in saying that, there was the line that we heard of Sherry going, well, the yellow tunic will sponsor me into the party. Even though the yellow was strongly encouraged, so they weren't going to like ban anybody. But so the yellow tunic sponsored her into the party. But the thing is, Sherry wondered how many passengers were going to have to rely on their smiles, meaning like they had no yellow. And that sentence got cut because it's like the focus wasn't on like the yellow anymore. It didn't flow well. I couldn't figure out how to keep it. So I had to cut the line of how many people would have to rely on their smiles.
So you could kind of keep that if you build it into the conversation between the two of them.
I could. Yeah, but it's also not a natural thing to say either.
So I would say it a little bit differently, as in, so maybe one of them comments to the other, because they are being salty, right? I think that was part of it, where they weren't super thrilled about this, but they're like, I should go. And one of them might say to the other, some of these people, like something along the lines of, some people really didn't need to worry about wearing yellow. They could have relied on their smiles.
Oh.
So it becomes like
it.
snarky and petty and like.
Yeah. Kind of like, it's actually a commentary on the whole pretty privilege type stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it could be like, catty kind of thing to say. I don't know what that says about me that I thought of.
I know, but we said that when we made this, we were like, I'm here for it. Like my favorite characters is usually the snarky one in the show. So
here,
Dobby Olympics.
He's being difficult this morning. And I don't know if you heard, I've been like doing some stuff around the house, so there's a door that's not attached to anything, and usually Piper doesn't go out until like closer to 11, but this morning she was like, I would very like to go out right now, and I was like, okay. She got so excited she was dancing around and bumped into the door and almost knocked it over on me.
Oh shit.
I was like, it's not a heavy door, so it's fine, but I was still like, ma'am,
like, this is a little too much activity for this morning.
You need to calm down. We are not.
You're being too loud.
We are not the same.
Yeah.
So,
what are you doing, dog?
Do we want to read these?
Yes.
Let me share mine to you.
I really need to like modify my spreadsheets, because I have a spreadsheet that shows the amount of words for each story, and I kind of want to capture how they change, like word wise. See if I do add, because we know I'm kind of an underwriter. So
this one I kept really short. It's 378.
Yeah, I forget where I started, but I'm at 314 now.
So
I can find where I started. Oh, there we go.
Nine. Clicking random stuff. Okay, we're gonna go to
wrong one, Chandra. Wrong one.
I'm pasting mine now.
I don't know why it's being so difficult. I literally just did this. Okay.
What are you having issues with?
It wouldn't let me search for a second. It was being really weird about it. And then I just cleared the whole thing and started over. And it was like, yeah, that's fine.
We're good.
So I went from 287 to 387.
Wow. All right. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read yours. Oh, God. Yes, Spencer, what do you need? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Okay. 5:14. I stumbled down the stairwell. 5 something. A time, a place. I can't remember. By the way, I got that echo again. Unless it's just me. Okay. I could see them across the parking structure. The rest of the cars from the meet were already gone. There's smoke scrolling up from their tires. The smell of burned rubber fills my nose and curdles my stomach. 514. I mumble. They had seemed like any other couple on a cruise. I'd been to a dozen car meets, but their faces struck out to me. Their willing smile and nosy manners always had been a little too familiar. Now they were driving toward me as I crossed the space between the landing and the open lot where I left my Pontiac. He's in the passenger. She's the driver. She is the driver, steering a car that careens towards me. I couldn't move. At first, I thought I needed to consider getting a sponsor, but now I was beginning to think that there was a little something extra in the brew. I had never been this out of it after one beer. The yellow lines that the demarcate cat. Wow, never seen that word before.
Demarcate.
Thank you. The yellow lines that demarcate the crosswalk from the rest of the cement blur before my unsteady eyes. I step and my feet come down outside. The bounds from where they should be. Am I stepping into the path of the car, or is the car turning into the space where I should be stepping? It's hard to see. They slow a bit before crashing into my shins. I see myself slow motion falling again and again, at least 100 times. Pain, darkness. I can't tell how long ago that was, but it's still dark. It's always dark. I'm barely certain I'm in a basement. At least there was a light in the parking garage. That's all I know. That, and sometimes the couple's neighbor comes by to see how things are going and ask about the howling that comes from below. Is it me? Have I been howling? I used to try to make a noise when I heard voices above. Now I know it's better to be quiet. Did I ever really go on the cruise? Is my car still in the parking garage? 514. 5 something. Was that where I had parked? Part of a phone number? I never could remember. Whew, okay. So, that actually makes more sense because one of my feedbacks was going to be the 514 up here.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting them to like be looking at their watch and maybe they're like doing that squint thing trying to read.
Oh.
and stuff. But by saying, is that where I parked? Then that makes more sense in that line. Oh boy. My son's going crazy. And so is my husband. Or my son's making my husband crazy. There we go. Yeah. So I liked the expansion, especially with the them driving toward them.
Mm-hmm.
And I step and my feet come outside the bounds of where they should be. Like, it's like I can picture it like perfectly, like all of it. The only thing that I wish we had more explanation for is this crashing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, were there injuries made when the shins collided, or was it more of a bump type thing, and because he was already unsteady, he just kind of went down? Or is there bruising, anything like that? Or was it like his shins are fine, but when he fell, he hit his head?
So yeah, I think that's an opportunity to expand the story, because I could really put in a whole nother section of the story. The only thing is, I think that might clear up a little bit about how long it's been.
Yeah. So, but well, and actually, I kind of like. Yeah, he doesn't know how long it's been, but like if there's injuries or something and how long they've taken to heal, that kind of is a clue. Also, neighbor comes by and to see how things are going with the new puppy that's howling at night. That could be a thing where there's an out for it, because otherwise, like the neighbor coming by to check on the howling, it could be like, why? Type situation. So yeah, but other than that, like, dude, like the improvements are there.
I like the added though. That gives a lot of wiggle room, and I could lengthen the story if I wanted to.
And you do. So
yeah, that was fun.
It was. I love editing. All right. You ready? All right.
Oh, is it on the same? Okay. Sherry sipped her coffee, eyeing the storm brewing on the ocean's horizon through the ship's balcony windows. She was supposed to leave the cabin, enjoy herself, break out of her shell, mingle. Still, she sat, boycotting everything this cruise should have pushed her to do. A card slid under her cabin door, startling her from sulking. It was an invitation for the captain's yellowtail party, and wearing the color was highly encouraged. Well, she brought her bright yellow tunic, but no solid yellow bottoms. If she had known ahead of time, her matching heels would have made the trip too. Sighing, she poured the final swallow of coffee down the sink. An hour and multiple hair updos later, Sherry exited her cabin with her waist-length hair straightened. Her neighbor had exited at the same time. The ladies smiled at each other, recognizing their color bond. With your top and my shorts, we'd look like a banana lemon squash, or what have you, the neighbor said. Sherry laughed. I wonder how many passengers will fit that description. They laughed as both of them took the golden stairwell to the ballroom. In the ballroom, there were over 100 passengers in yellow from head to toe. Oh my, there is even a man in a yellow hat, Sherry said. Do you think George is nearby? The neighbor replied. I'm Sherry, by the way, she said while offering a hand. The neighbor extended her own hand. I'm Michelle. Silence fell between the women. Sherry was unsure where to take the conversation. She took a breath and said, This may be random, but if you're willing, do you want to be nosy in people watch while we devoured the free drinks. Michelle's smile grew. Did we just become best friends? Yep, Sherry replied as she looped her arm around Michelle's and steered her to the bar. Is George a reference to George of the Jungle?
No, we talked about this last time, but other people got the hint that, and you said you got the hint when we just watched it, but it's a reference to Curious George, the man in the yellow hat.
Oh, I've never seen that, so.
Yeah, you said you never seen it, but you got the reference.
I don't know.
But apparently not.
Good times. That does make sense. The banana thing. I do like the banana lemon squash or what have you. I think
just name everything that's yellow. Oh, I could even take it off that. I could include like daffodil or something, and yeah, I could have fun with that line.
Yeah,
expand it further.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's clear. I think you could see me like tweaking a couple things, just adding some comments and stuff. But no, I think it's good. I think it cleaned up nice.
Yeah. Wild things. I'd actually, because we were talking about that line and everything, after I wonder how many passengers would fit that description. After that line, it would have been a perfect place to kind of weave in how many people would have to, a few people could rely on their smiles, I'm sure, or something. So it works. Okay, so for today's...
Well, actually, if you do that, though, that's before they've gone down to the bedroom.
But, I mean, they've walked around. They've seen people at dinner and stuff. It could have been an assumption. Like, I'm sure a few people.
Yeah.
Because if by them seeing, like, they're assuming that not everyone's going to be head to toe yellow. And then they walk in and go, oh, crap. Yeah, actually, everyone's head to toe yellow. We're the outsiders, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay. That works, too.
Yeah. So... going with, by the way, my chat's not moving at all in StreamYard. I think I'm gonna have to
go. Mine's not either.
Or maybe we're just not popular. It's fine.
Could be.
Yeah.
Or, though, sometimes if the window is unattended, like if we're background noise, it does like shut off and stop counting it as a view.
Yeah, true.
So it could be that.
It works. Okay. Now I just wanted to make sure that we're good. All right. So for today's random prompt.
Yes.
It's what we're gonna do. You take your phone. And this is something anybody can do. And that's like mine and Chandra's whole goal is like you can find inspiration anywhere. So what we're going to do is, because we wrote up a few prompts. And so I'm going to just go to prompt number 1 was actually buying something. And that was the story cubes that we used last week. So today is going to be grab your phone, go to your music, like all music that you have, all the songs, put it on shuffle. In the first song that comes up, you're either going to include the song, maybe the lyrics will inspire you, or like just somehow maybe like the emotions you get while listening to the song in the background, whatever it takes.
Okay.
But I'm actually really excited. Like, I think I want to keep the song to myself until after.
Ooh, we should do that. Okay.
Yeah. But I got a song. I will say it's from the 90s. So oh, hush.
Is this the sprint that we're doing 30 minutes for?
Yeah, this we got to do 30 minutes for because it's a little bit of
creating new, whereas the only reason editing is 20 minutes is because we kind of talk about it, we kind of familiar, and so it's a little faster.
Okay, so we start the timer, hit shuffle, or did you already hit shuffle?
I already hit shuffle, like
okay,
as I was saying it, but yeah.
Gotcha. Hold on, I'm gonna hit shuffle right now.
Yeah, and then I paused it immediately.
I don't even know this song.
Well, then you get to listen to it and just get an emotion out of it. Then that could be your inspiration. You don't have to actually include the lyrics or anything. It's like how it makes you feel, or if there's a story in it. Bravo to anyone who gets like a ballad, because there were always stories with that.
Yeah.
If anybody gets like Journey, small, Don't Stop Believing, I mean, that's kind of, it writes itself.
I'm putting the inspiration in the instead of the title.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have no clue. Okay. Are we ready to do this?
Sure. Because I gotta go back through my lyrics on this, and it's just so funny.
I'm gonna have to share. I'm gonna have to share it afterwards, but I'm gonna have to listen to the song. So the first few minutes will be just me listening to the song.
Yeah.
But here we go. Wrong button. In 3, 2, and 1. I think I may have written the darkest thing I have ever written. And I'm not sorry.
Okay. I gotta copy this.
I'm sending.
This was fun, and I would love to do this again.
Yes, I liked this style of prompt. I really liked that it gave me a song I'd never listened to before. I actually quite liked the song.
Did you finally remember it? Because at first you were like, I've never heard this.
I've never heard it before. Yeah. I listened to it and I was like, no, I've actually never heard this song before. I ended up listening to it like 3 times. Once like before I started writing, then I started writing, and then I listened to it 2 more times. The song is called More, More, More by Passion Mubalin. APA.
Oh, wait. Is that the more and more and more? Is that it?
It is. When I was a kid, nobody understood me. I felt so alone, all on my own. Dobby.
I'm stuck in the 90s, so hold on.
No, I think this is newer.
Oh, okay. Because the song I was like kind of singing is
No, this is from 2001.
Yeah, definitely not the song I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a little dark. A little bit.
I got it saved so I can listen to it later, but I like the opening.
Yeah. Also, I saw Nia dropped in, and I waved, but I was like in the thick of it.
Yeah, I couldn't. Mine's really short, but also I had to stop because my son came up and was like, "Mom, poop downstairs." I'm like, "What?" And one of the dogs, sure enough, peed and pooped downstairs.
That's like immediate panic.
Yeah. And I'm like, I see a little bit from the top of the stairs. I'm like, oh, okay. No, it goes behind the couch. And I'm like, this is a lot more than I thought. But luckily, it didn't stick to the carpet, but I still use the carpet cleaner.
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay. Let me share the screen. Hey, we're doing good on time. Look at us.
I know. I was just looking at that. I'm like, nailed it.
Okay. I'm going to zoom in. All right. Now we're going to read Chandra's darkest story yet. She sat at the front of the class with the rest of the swim team. I sat at the back where I could see her. I don't even think she knew I existed, but a guy could hope. I'd gone to the same school as Ashley Clemson since the 1st grade, even though I would never do anything in class to get her attention. I knew who she hung out with. I could make the group notice me, and if they notice me, I could make her notice me. The first few things I did, admittedly, just for clout. Holding Bobby Burns' head in the toilet or putting gum in Priscilla Pomeroy's hair. Ashley laughed, and I swear it was like watching the sunrise. But even though she thought it was funny, I heard her say it was childish and stupid too. Obviously, it was supposed to be funny and stupid, and I could understand that she wanted more from me. Yes, Spencer, what do you need? Later, give me some time. Hold on. Pranks were stupid for boys. She wanted a man. I wanted to do something for her, not something silly like bringing flowers or coffee. I wanted to really help her. I think she was trying to make it easy for me. The next week, she wore a crop top in these cute jeans that had rips across the knees. When Mr. Weeks sent her to the office, I didn't say anything. Let's just say he had to call a tow truck when it was time to leave for the day. Whoa.
It took me a while longer to deal with Principal Atlee. I never built a pipe bomb before, and I had to figure that out. I didn't think it would kill him, but I guess he should have known better than to fuck with people. Really. There were a couple of problems with my plan. She still didn't know I was the one looking out for her. Some of the guys in her group were a little freaked out. Pussies. I figured she wouldn't be into any of the soft boys in her group. I guess that was the second problem with my plan. She didn't think she had any other options. She was a smart girl. She just needed to know there was someone better out there. By the way, there is an echo. Rumor has it she was dating Bryce from her group, but I knew I could fix that. I guess I'd have to be a bit more direct with my intentions. I sent the invites to the whole swim team. Addressing it from Bryce was a bit of a genius on my part. I had things ready too. I could reset her expectations pretty easily. Catching Bryce was the next thing I needed to do. I really didn't want him to miss practice. That would be suspicious, but there wasn't a way around that. There was a time crunch. I needed to decorate everything. Oh, I really didn't. Yeah. Decorate everything. I had to get him in position. Once I had him suspended from the makeshift pulley system, I filled the pool deck with flowers. I wanted it to be romantic, not totally lame, since I was showing her both sides of me. I set up enough chairs for the team on the side of the pool and put one for Bryce, the team captain, at the bottom of the pool, under where he was suspended. Once the team had taken their seats, I let Ashley know how I felt about her. I was sure the adjustments to my plan would make it easy for her to decide. She wanted a man who could be thoughtful and sensitive and would have her back. There is so much confusion in this. Like, I get that he likes Ashley, but I'm still trying to figure out what he's doing. At first, he was picking on other kids at school. I got that. But that is... She laughed, of course, but I think that's kind of like peer pressure. Mm-hmm. And then she called it, like, I think a private, childish, and stupid, which, yes. But then I don't get... So he's got her, Bryce, like, suspended over the pool.
Yeah. So
okay.
He's got, like, he caught Bryce, and there's a lot more. Like, I could write another 400 words on this.
I'm sure.
But basically, Bryce has been caught, and that's why he missed practice. And he, like, tied him up and hung him over the pool, over where the chair is in the water. And then he's got chairs for everyone else. And then he invited,
to watch.
Yeah, and he invited them with a letter or an invite from Bryce.
Okay. So it's this situation of the main character has this fixation, and it kind of makes me think of the movie Swamp Fan, like an obsession.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Yeah. It's weird. But it's an obsession, and like, yeah. I do like your the naming and stuff. Like, you did pretty well naming even like characters that we don't interact with, like Principal Atlee, Priscilla Pomeroy, and Bobby Burns. Like these people felt real to me, even though they're just on the page and stuff. Like, it was, yeah.
So I wanted to go, there's a couple places where I wanted to go into more detail, but I was running out of time. I wanted to go into more detail into what happened to Mr. Weeks' car.
Yeah, because the tow truck, I thought it was a euphemism that he, like, even Mr. Weeks was attracted to her for a little bit.
Not what I intended.
Yeah.
And then Principal Atlee, I wanted to go.
That was kind of clear.
But I don't know if, like, I don't know if the character would be the kind of person to.
I feel like actually killing someone is like I would expect it to be an accident. Like maybe he put a pipe bomb in it. Like here's the situation: he put a pipe bomb, threw it over the fence, and put it in the pool or something. But he didn't know Principal Atlee was in the pool. You know,
like make it a little more clear how it happens. And that, like I could write more on that as well.
Yeah, like to make it, because I feel like death would be purely an accident. But
I also don't want him to be bothered by it.
Yeah, kind of like, well, it's his own fault. Like,
yeah,
like I like he has this idea of karma is acting through me, and if it hits you worse, that's karma acting. Like,
yeah. The other thing I would like to do, and this will take a bit more time, is to actually write more on the like when the actual swim team gets there and what Ashley really thinks about him.
Yeah, like the reactions of walking in. Like, are people confused? Do people think it's Bryce doing this? Like in the sense of it was his plan because it was all from him. And like, is Bryce is suspended, but is his mouth covered? Is he knocked out? Is he like, yeah, there's a lot of ways to expand this.
Yeah. So I would like to do that. I do think the way I have it planned in the main character, I think it gets real dark, and I'm good with that. But I would like to put it on the page because I feel like even though I have a lot of work, like this is 600 and something words, I have a lot more that's like not on the page, that's just in my head, that I just like got the bones of it down.
Yeah, you got it. It's a draft. That's what it is.
Yeah. But for not having heard the song before and having like listened to it and been like, okay, this is where this is going, I feel like it is a twist on the song. And that's kind of fun.
It was fun. I definitely want to do this again.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for mine?
Yes. Also, I just looked over and saw the title of the song. And
it's No Diggity by Blackstreet.
That's hilarious.
I know. Like, I know the song and I'm like, yeah, but then actually reading the lyrics, I'm like, oh. So it's very short because I was busy.
Okay, ready. I'm sorry, I was reading to myself. Turns out I'm supposed to do this out loud. Oh, is the echo better?
I still hear it every now and then, but it's not as prominent.
Okay. I'm not sure what to do then, because anyhow. She glides past the doorman into the chauffeured town car waiting for her. There isn't a hair out of place in her slick bun. Her designer trench coat hugs her curves, tied around her waist. Her heeled boots rise to just below her knee, where the hem of the jacket fell. Every elite party I'm catering staff for, she is there in a different dress, purse, heels, and man. Full lashes, smooth skin, classic sultry gaze. A smile that could melt any cop if she were to ever drive too fast or blow past a stoplight. I know she doesn't love any of them. She couldn't in her line of work. She has every need met, so why would she give that up for love? One day, I want to be on her arm. She'll leave with me from the party. I'll be just another name in her black book, the guy she was with before her first-class flight to New York City. She is classy, though. I've never heard her voice from across the room, though I know when she enters it. She holds her champagne, not once wobbling. Without a doubt, in another life, I'd make her my wife. After months of sweeping at the barber shop, walking dogs, and running packages, I have enough money for one night. Ooh. Okay, so I think it's funny that even we like have the same story, but like with completely different.
Yeah. Like we went the same route.
That's hilarious.
Like the songs kind of led us there, but yeah.
That is so funny. Also, I really like the story. I like that, like, it gets clearer and clearer who she is, and like you think, I don't know, just the way that he goes. Like, I didn't necessarily see that he was saving for that, and so it's I like it. I like the story. That's a very good story. It's very clever.
Well, it was by the song, because the song is like she's classy. She's like they call her low key and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I threw in like I never hear her voice across the room. Like she holds, and I was gonna say liquor, but I was like, no, she holds her champagne, like this like elevated thing. And just this imagery of knowing that he's just like kind of in a way, I've made the line the black book, but like a notch in the bedpost situation. It's a job for her. Like all of that just made me think like the goal of like just one night. It's better to have one night than nothing at all.
Yeah.
And I even tried, because I know previously we've talked about like giving characters like description. That's why I tried to describe her and stuff. And
no, I definitely have a clear view of her type, her style. And it's also interesting because the main character, we view her through his gaze, but we have no idea what kind of person he is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping, like, I've listed multiple jobs, so hopefully it's like he's hardworking. Like, we probably think he's like,
he is hardworking. I mean, you get that, but I mean, like, he's
like, whether he's a serial killer or not.
Well, I mean, no, we don't know that, he's someone who fades into the background, even though he's hardworking and he's doing. Obviously, he's industrious. He's forgettable.
Yeah. And he says it, I'll be just another name in her black book.
But even outside of being another name in her black book, like, I think I get the impression that the other kinds of names that would be in her black book would be much more recognizable than his.
True.
And like what they
I could even
what they had to do to get into her black book doesn't compare with the work that he's put in to be there. And people might look around and not notice him, but he's still has this objective.
The only I'm trying to say, like, her other clientele's names would never be used with his name or something, like, but
maybe the other names in the book would be far more recognizable than mine.
Or in the shadows of the other. Or, no, not in the shadows, shadowed by.
Shadowed by the others, maybe, because I'll just be another name in her black book, shadowed by the other. Yeah.
Sometimes simple, like less words better.
Also, instead of the guy, maybe change that to some guy.
Oh yeah. That was another line in the song was flying first class from New York City to Blackstreet.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah, so I try to incorporate a little bit here and there.
I think it's pretty great. But yeah, I do like that. It's also interesting, like that's everything he's working for. Like why why he's working so hard and everything. That's very clever.
Okay. That was fun.
Yes. Oh, also, I don't know if we already have this on our list, but I thought we might add as a prompt a random news headline.
We do have that.
Okay. Do we have a random tweet?
Ooh. I'm going to add that.
The reason
and I got to type this up and put it in our like flash fiction folder.
Here's the random reason I thought of that is because there's a tweet by, you know how Twitter doesn't really show you any of the people you actually follow?
Yeah.
This is from a random person who tweeted, I had a 5:15 a.m. flight this morning, and the businessman next to me ordered whiskey and sat his laptop in the middle seat between us. He opened one email and just stared at it for 2 hours. And the comments are all speculating on why.
Like what the email is.
Yes, and so I was kind of like, that would be kind of fun to just like pick a random tweet and then like speculate on like something like this, like a situation or whatever, and then speculate, like make up a whole story behind it.
Oh my God. Yeah, because to me, the first thought is that he opens the email and it's the shortest email ever. It just says, I want a divorce.
Oh.
Or we can make it even shorter and it says, I know.
Somebody said flight anxiety, and someone else said maybe a message he wished he could take back. We need answers. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of like an interesting, like I also would like answers. It's not my business.
I know we don't like to be involved in drama, but we love to hear about it and watch it on TV. Yeah. Like this is entertainment. And actually, I mean, think about it. As writers, we have to create drama as writers. Like that's what we want to read as readers. That's what it's boring.
I think I've actually gotten quite good. I mean, this is a writing exercise in and of itself, but I've gotten quite good at just being in a space and overhearing snippets of conversation, and then I'll just like walk away and I'm like dying laughing on the inside. Because people say some really crazy things in public when they think no one else is listening.
Absolutely. But it's and actually I just decided it's not drama, it's raising the stakes.
It's slice of life.
True, that too. Which is funny because usually slice of life is like stories where like there isn't drama, as if life doesn't have drama, as if it doesn't have things that give turmoil and anxiety and such. Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So I plan to type up all these prompts. We've gotten through 2. Mm-hmm. And the goal is we're going to have 52 by the end of the year. So
love it.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
We are. We got this. Okay. I guess we'll say bye to everybody. We're kind of done early, but I feel
like we did good though with everything.
Oh,
the fact that we didn't
absolutely.
get our homework on time because slice of life.
Which, speaking of, let me go ahead. For anybody who wants to read ahead, I'm going to pull this up real quick. I think the next one is episode 17. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Oh, episode 17 was me. Let's see, 16 then? Nope, that was still me. Still me. Okay, hold on. Maybe it's 18. 18. Okay. What was I doing? Okay, episode 19.
Okay. We're going to be episode 19 on your channel next week.
Yes. So it will be edit number 3, but it's episode 19 is what we'll be referring to on the Flash Fiction Live episode.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
That
so I got to write that down. Otherwise I'm going to forget. Oh, I got to call and make that appointment too. I'm seeing other things I got to do.
Yeah, I've got an appointment that I need. Well, I left a message. I feel like once I call and leave a message for an appointment, if they don't call me back, I just forget about it because I'm like, I already did my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be like me.
Episode 19. Okay.
All right. So we're going to be back same time, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on Natalie's channel for episode 3, or excuse me, edit 3, episode 19.
Editing episode 19 of Flash Fiction Live. Yeah, but I'll when I post it, I like to put the link of the original YouTube video that we're referring to. And maybe we'll do it ahead. Yeah, maybe we'll do it ahead of time, and so we don't have to watch it the day of.
Yeah. Promise next time, no more Cobra drama. I will be a good news.
Yeah. We'll be fine. All right. Hi, everybody. Do you click it? Okay.